Hello and welcome back to another video. In our today's video, we are going to resume with our previous e-commerce project where we're using Google's Firebase Firestore. And today we are going to create a thing like this one, whereby we'll have a list of product and we'll be able to open the product in its own activity to read its details. We'll also implement these menus in our today's video. And also we'll create this product details page, product details activity. That's what we're going to create mainly today. So we have a lot to do. Without wasting much time, let's get started. Okay, so in our previous project we had created something like this, and if you've not watched those videos, please go and watch them so you can be on the same level with us. We had created something like this. So we're able to add a product in Google's Firebase, and when you click on a product, you could see the product that we've clicked on. So we're going to resume exactly from here. Okay, so beginning, I'm going to go to our project. And one more thing that I've just done today here, I've added one more attribute here that can separate the product. Let me show you. I've added one more attribute here that can separate the product margin. Okay, so I've just added this product margin to be spacing large. So that's what I've just done today. So you can also do it. So without wasting much time, we're going to implement first of all the menu here, so that we can click on it and you see the cart and also the navigation menu. That's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so I'll simply go to our project. This is the project and this is our main activity, and I'm going to go to get data. We're getting data from here, and from here is where I'm going to put the menu. For example, I'm going to do it to implement this menu. So if you don't watch the previous videos, please, I'll put the link in the description. Go and watch them. Okay, so I've already created this menu, so I'll just simply go and copy the code and just explain it. That will be simpler. Okay, so I'm going to do this, the option menu. That's what I'm going to do. First of all, let me begin by removing this. I'm going to make this one to be a menu icon, not this kind of icon of back. Okay, so I'm going to create the menu icon. So where is our project? This is the project. So let's just simply go, instead of having this back, here I had put so here we'll come here to init toolbar. In the previous video, create this init toolbar. I'm going to come and add this line that will enable it have to be under the toolbar. That will enable us to have that menu icon under our toolbar. So it is just simply toolbar.set navigation icon, which is r.rebel.ic menu. But we don't have this IC menu for now. Let's let us create it from the vectors. So I simply come to our project and I go to resources and I go to values. I go to resources here and then go to drawables, right click on it and then come to new vector asset, and I'll simply double click on this one and just say menu. Like this, and then say okay. So I'll just change this one to IC menu and say next and say finish. So this one will be resolved, and this one, when we run the project, this will be the menu of 3. So after doing that, now we're going to implement the menu here. We'll have the cart and the navigation that will enable us to navigate through our application. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now. So here are the steps. So let us create this menu. Okay, here are the steps. So I'll begin by putting the inflator. I've already created this menu. Okay, so I'll have to override the option menu event. Okay, just simply come and override option menu on create option menu, right? So in that is where we'll put the inflate for the menu that we're going to create. Okay, so I simply come here in our project. This is our project. Okay, don't confuse the two. This is the project that you're dealing with. So I'll come here just in the main activity, within the activity itself. So for example, after the on create, I'll just simply add there the on create options menu. Just write on create options menu, and Android Studio will suggest for you, and you should make sure that it's on the same level on the on create. with your own create. So there we'll receive the menu that we want to inflate, and then we just put get inflator.inflate. Okay, just simply write like this: get inflator, then you put dot inflate. Okay, like this. Okay, so after doing like that, we'll just simply create our menu that you're going to do what, that you're going to inflate here. Okay, so may I call it menu settings, and here I can change it. Of course, I can call it, for example, main menu, my main menu. So this main menu is not created yet, so we're going to create it right now. So let's go ahead and create this menu. We'll simply come here to project, and to come to values here, and then we'll also put a menus folder here. Not in values, sorry. You come under resources, right click on it, and then come to new, right click on under resource. Okay, here under resource. Okay, right click on it and come to new, and then come and select Android resource directory, and then we'll keep it as what, as menu. Select here resource as menu. Okay, and then click OK. Then we'll have that menu, and it's here where we're going to put to put this main menu. Okay, so to do that, we'll just simply come here and right click on it and say new, and say resource file, of course going to be main menu, and then say OK. So we'll have that main menu there. Okay, so this is the main menu under menu folder, resource file. So click on split so you can see the code, and I'll minimize here so you can see the code clearly. And I've already created this menu, so I'll just simply come and copy it and explain it. Okay, so in this resource you'll have this menu. You just simply add these items. Okay, add item like this. Okay, add an item like that. Okay, so you can see here we're having the cart. Okay, we're having the ID is called action cart, or I've called it action cart, and that's the cart, and we're having the icon which is drawable shopping cart. So let's add this icon. So we'll simply come to a project, and then come to drawables, right click on it, and then come and say new, and come and select the vector asset, and then also going to double click here and put cart. Okay, so select this one, and I'll change the name to shopping cart. Say next and say finish, and then we'll have this cart there. Okay, so after adding the cart, and then you can say show action always. So to put show action always, that's what will make this. Let me show you. It's what, okay, it's what will keep it always on. Okay, it's what will keep it always on top. That is show action always. Okay, so after putting show action always, now we're going to add more items. For example, like add new products, view orders, all the rest. We'll do all those things. We'll add them here, those items. Okay, okay, for example here, add product, add new product. So I'll come and change this one to action add underscore product. Okay, so after doing that, you can add other options, other option menus here, but for now I'll keep it like that. When you come back, we'll add more things here. So put show action, you put it never, so that you'll keep it under the other more options. So that's our menu, and you've seen how I've created. You can pause the video and look at my menu again, and you also create your own. So let's come back to main activity. This menu should now be resolved. It should be resolved. Now what we need to do is now to put the to put the listener, so that when someone clicks on the menu, we should be able to tell that someone has clicked on the menu. Okay, so that listener is also override. We are going also to override the option on options item selected. Okay, on option item selected, you just simply write that. Okay, come here under your menu, here under the menu, and just put on options item selected, that one. Okay, just press enter, and Android Studio will be smart to do for you everything. So here, every time that you click on a menu, this Android Studio, the Android operating system, will be sending you the item that you've clicked on, and it will be putting it here, and then you can use that item to do anything that you want to do. Okay, so I'll simply copy this, and I'll be telling what has been done, or when someone clicks on an item. Okay, I'm going to explain it. It's nothing but just to tell it's a switch, just a simple switch. I just say get item ID. Okay, so if the item ID is got home, I'll go back. But what I want to do here, that if item ID is equal to cat, okay, here, okay, so what I'll do, I'll just simply say this item that has been sent to me here, dot get item ID, and say android.r.id, and I put action cat. Okay, no, not android.r.id. I just simply say r.id dot action cat. Okay, so by doing that, it will tell if this cat item, I mean this item that has been clicked on, is what is the cat item. So there I can make a simple toast like this and say you clicked on cat. Okay, so like that. So I can again put another else if here, else if, and I put here the condition. So I just simply say item dot get ID, for example, is equal to r.id dot, and I come and check this ID for add product. Okay, action add product is equal to r.id dot action add product. I can now make another toast. You clicked on add new product. Okay, so there you can tell. So you can go and put more conditions, or you can make a switch if you want one of the two. Okay, so by doing like that, you can tell that someone has clicked on a certain item. Let's go ahead and run the project and see if this is working. So you can see we're having our products here, and the space that I told you about, it is kind of spaced, as you can see. And you can see if I click on this cart, I can get this toast down here. I can get the toast. Okay, it's down here. You clicked on what? On cart. If I come here to more and add new product, see, you click on add new product. And if you come here, of course, you have not put in action, no in action. So that is our project so far. So let's go ahead and create a single activity, I mean a product activity for a single product. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. It's going to take us time, but we've got to do it. We have nothing to do. Let's do it right now. So how am I going to call it? Product activity, or single product activity, whatever you call it. I'll simply come to my project, I'll come to Java, and I'll come to the package, or is it though? Okay, it is here. I'll come to our activity package. Okay, activity package, and right click on it, say new, and then come and say activity, and come and select empty activity. Okay, so under that I'm going to put it product activity. I'll keep it simple, product activity, and then I'll click on what? On finish. Okay, so have that product activity there. So we're going to spend much of time in designing, but I'll focus only on our activity, I mean on the productivity or the functionality. So I'll simply click on control and click on this activity so it can open on the layout. So I'll have the layout there. So I click on split so I can have the source code and the preview on this side. So by doing that, I'll just simply come now and start using the project that I mean the code that I already created. So I'll be writing it as I'm explaining it. So we're going to go ahead and change this one to nested scroll view. Okay, and then after doing that, we're going to add here linear layout. And then after doing that, making the orientation to be vertical, we'll go ahead and add a product image here. Can give it even a specific height, for example 500 dp. 500 is too much. 400. Okay. Then after doing that, we're going to put product details. A product name here is going to be text view. And I'll give it an ID of product name. Okay, let me add just some text just for dummy. Product name, and I'll come and add a price. Hope you can see what I'm doing here on this side. Okay, so it's going to be price. Let me just put like price, just a dummy, and I can put here like can simply put here like what, like a gravity, right? So it will be on the other side here like this. I'm just concentrating on the functionality, not the user interface right now. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put the what, maybe the view that's going to separate here from the details. Text view, I'll just copy this and remove this, and I can say text is details go here, and remove this gravity, right? So after doing that, we'll have our last button, which is going to be add to cart. I'm just concentrating on the functionality, not the user interface right now. So it's going to be maybe match parent and wrap content, and it will have text of add to cart. Okay, so that's it. Now we can give them maybe some margin. These, most especially these views. Apart from the image, let me create another linear layout with orientation, with match parent and wrap content and orientation, vertical, and then in that I'm going to put everything that I had created apart from the image, and then I'll also give it then a margin, maybe of medium or large. Okay, so I can go ahead and oh yeah, that will work. Maybe I can come here and give it margin top of large. Can do the same here. Okay, and do the same here. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go ahead and set, maybe let me use the UI. Just click here on design and then click on attributes. So here I can increase the font size to maybe 18 dp and make it 18 spe and make it bolded, and this one I can also make it bolded, the price, and I can also increase it maybe to 18 dp. So this one 18 dp. Okay, so is that details? No, I was meaning this one I can make it maybe 16 dp, the details, but without bolding it, only the price. Now that I want to make 18 dp, like that, like this. Okay, so I think there we are together. So I'll go back to the split mode and give these things IDs. Okay, so I'll come and give this main image an ID, and I'll call it a product image or product photo, and then I'll come ahead, I'll go ahead and give this one an ID and call it product title. Okay, I'll go ahead and give this one product at price, then I'll go ahead and give this one an ID or product details. I'll go ahead and give this one an ID of add to cart. Okay, so there we're good to go. So there we're good to go. I think here, right? I think we're good to go. So now let's go ahead and do what? And start working on the back end of this product, of this project. I mean of this activity, okay? So here we'll be expecting the first thing is the ID, okay? The ID of a product that you are previewing at the moment. So first of all, you need to collect the ID of the product that you're doing what? That you're going to feed in. Okay, for example, I can say, how should you organize it? Okay, let us have here what product ID is going to be what? A string, and I'm going to call it product ID. It's got nothing. Okay, or I can initialize it to null. Okay, so after doing that, we're going to have our intent. Call it. Okay, let me just get this intent from here. So this intent simply be I is equal to get intent. So get the intent for this activity, and from this intent is so going to get the product ID. Okay, so I can just simply say I dot what dot get what, get string. I can first check if it has a string. Okay, get string, get extra string. That's how we say extras. Okay, extra. It is called get string extra, not a get extra string. String extra. So from here I'll pass the string that I need to collect, which is going to be maybe product ID. I can just simply use product ID or ID. Let's keep it, okay, let's keep it simple, ID. That's what we'll be using. Let me also make it here simple, just an ID. Okay, so this is going to be ID is equal to get simple ID. So before I proceed, I can first check if this ID is equal to null or string ID length is less than what? Is less than 1. Then I can know that that ID was not found. I'll simply say toast ID not, or product not, ID not found. and I do it and I finish. Okay, so that's how I'll be getting the product ID. So after doing that, now we're going to go ahead and do what, and get product. Okay, I can say init component or get product init component. Let me say get data. Okay, so here we're going to create a method that will get the product data. So I just simply alt and enter to create it like that. So I'll just going to copy this stuff, some stuff in our main menu, our main activity, and feed it here to save time. So I'll come to our main activity, which is here, and here. Okay, so of course we need the database and the product list. Where the product activity is here. Okay, so I'll just come on top of this and create the database and the product list. You can see you're having product model and the product, the list of products as a list of products, and having the DB here. So let's go ahead and get the product itself. Okay, so it's going to be, so this it doesn't need to be a list, of course, because it's going to be a single product. So just be simple product model like this. Can initialize it to null by default. So now let's go ahead and get it. I can initialize it just to new product to avoid the crashing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the product. So it's going to be db.collection. I pass the product collection. This constant is not being exported. I don't know why. Public final string. Okay, let's manually write it. Okay, the table of products, the collection of product. The document. So here I have to specify the document that I want. So it's going to be I'm going to pass the ID. That's the unique document ID that I want. Okay, the document.get. So not get ID, but dot get. Okay, so it's going to be .add on what, on success listener. So it's going to be new on success. Okay, like this. So here, if this is empty, let's first create the context here. Context C, and I'll initialize it. Okay, I can just write it little context like this. Okay, let's go and initialize it here, the main activity, because this. Okay, so I'll come and check if document snapshot dot exist. Okay, so I say if it does not exist, I'll just make a simple toast that product not found, and then I make a simple finish here. Okay, so after doing that, if it is found, so I'll go ahead and do what, and let me make sure that I return this point. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go ahead and if in case it passes there, I'll go ahead and do what, and feed data. Okay, so that feed data is the one that will be feeding the product data. So I'll add here dot on failure listener on fail listener. It's going to be new on fail, and I'll just simply copy these two and then say failed because plus e dot what dot get message, and I put a semicolon. So here in feed data, I'm going to create now a method that will do what, that will feed data. Okay, so I just press alt and enter and put this method in the product activity. So this is where I'll put it. Let me just put it on top so you can write as you're seeing it clearly. So under the onCreate, I'm going to put this method. You can put it anywhere, so that will be feeding the product. So by that method also we'll have to find, okay, we need to first bind the views. I just simply put bind underscore views. Okay, so in this bind views is will find the IDs. So and I'm going to put this one on top here, bind views at that point. So let's go ahead and create this bind views. So it's going to be, the first thing we're going to have is the product image view. We call it product image. Okay, then we'll go ahead and copy this by say is equal to find view by id r.id dot. I'll come and copy the product image id from here, which is called product image also. Okay, so what else is the title? Title of course is a what? Is a text view. Going to be product title, which is equal to product title is equal to find view by id product title, like that. I think we already created it. So what else? The price, product what? Product price. I think this id is not created yet. Let's go ahead and check it. The price, does it have an id? You see, price, yeah, it just has an id. So it's going to be product price is equal to find view by id r.id dot product price. So after having the product price, we'll have the details. So also a text view, and I'll come and duplicate like this. Okay, so after doing that, I'll come and create the what? The add to cart button by simply writing button add to cart, add to cart is done. Okay, so after adding to cart, now let's go ahead and initialize this. Okay, we've not put the image in its own. Okay, so image, okay, we've already initialized it here. So now I'll start feeding the data. I will just run it while you're done. Okay, so the data, of course, we have to initialize here the product, of course. So I'll have to make sure that at this point I do what? I initialize the product. In case the document exists, I'll just simply say product is equal to document snapshot dot to object, and I pass product what? Product model dot class. It will fix for me and make it that product in case it is successful. So at this point, now let's go ahead and feed the data. Okay, I hope we are together. Please can pause the code and look at it. I rewind the video in case I left you behind. That's the source code. Let us start feeding the data. I will begin with the image. Of course, image you're going to use glide again. We remember I used the glide. Okay, so it's going to be glide with, we pass the context and we pass the image, the product photo, which is the product.photo. You can put the animation if you want, but you can remove them if you don't want from here. Then you put maybe center crop. Okay, and then you put the view that we want to feed in, which is called product image. Okay, so after adding that, so go ahead and do what? And say the product title, to set activity, so to set text is going to be product dot text, dot title. So let us duplicate it. We'll have here product price. It's going to be price, and can add here to make it a string like this. So after doing that, we're going to set the title. Title is done. Details, you can put here details, and then we're going to add a listener to add to cart. Add dot on click listener, and add new on click listener. It's going to make a simple toast. You can say adding to that. Okay, so we are done with that. Yeah, adding to cart, that is done. Okay, so we're done with it. Now let's go ahead and do what, and open this activity when someone clicks on a product. And remember, we have to add extra of this ID, because this ID will be wanted on this side. So we'll go to main activity, and you'll have the click somewhere here. Okay, we are making a toast when someone clicks on an item. So right now we're not going to make a toast, but we're going to open the single product page. So we're going to have intent. Okay, I can make it I is equal to new intent okay, and here we're going to pass the context of main activity dot this, and the activity that we're going to pass, which is going to be product activity dot class. Then after doing that, we'll go ahead and put the extras. That's going to be I dot put extra. So we're going to pass the string name, which is ID in small letters, comma, path, and the activity that and the value, which is going to be, of course, it will come here through the object. This one, okay, object dot what dot product ID. So after doing that, we'll go ahead and start the activity. Dot start or dot this dot start activity, and we pass the I. So by doing like that, hopefully everything will be okay. So let's run our project. So this is the project. Now I'll click on one. You can see the image is loaded, the product name is there, and the price is there. So if I go back, click on another one, the image is loaded, the name is there, and the price there. If I click on add to cart, you can see adding to cart. So that's it for today. In the next video, we'll work on the adding to cart logic as well as displaying the cart itself. That's what we'll do in the next project. So please don't just watch, but watch as you practice. I'm going to put this project on GitHub so you can be able to download the source code. I'll share with you the link. But don't just watch like a movie, watch as you practice. That's how we do all things. And thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't, and sharing the video with the friends if it was helpful, and don't forget to like it as well. So let us meet in the next video where we're going to work on the cart logic. I hope you won't miss. See you there.